Hey, welcome back to the channel. So today we're obviously going to be discussing the heart killers. Finally, took me a little minute, but now we're here. I did watch the series while it was airing. Watching a series while it is airing hits way different than when you just watch it when it ends. And I didn't make like weekly videos, and it took me some time to get this video out because now I've had some time to reflect and rewatch a few things, and I think that I have somewhat of a solid opinion formed. First, I want to talk about just like the actors in general. So, initially, what got me excited about the series is Cal Tung and First. So I saw the first series that I ever saw with Cal Tung and First was Only Friends. And I did a whole little series on Only Friends. I did every single episode. Should I go back to doing that? Anyway, not the point of this video. Only Friends was the first series that I saw of them, and I was like, no, they kind of eat. So then I went and I watched The Eclipse. I really don't be getting into the actual couples or ships or pairs, whatever you would like to call them, outside of like the series. But maybe I should, because the more TikTok edits and interview clips that I see, and obviously the more like series that I watch, I am getting into certain pairs that I'm like, hold on, I like what y'all got going on. Because the chemistry do be giving what it's supposed to give. And all of the first Cal series that I've seen so far, which is only, this makes number 3, they was given. So maybe I should invest a little more. And I've never seen a series with Joong and Dunk before, so I didn't really know too much about them, besides the fact that visually immaculate. Both pairs, honestly, visually, 10s across the board. And honestly, in this series, June Dunk highkey did it for me. Like, I thought that I was going to be super into First and Cow Tongue's characters, which obviously I was. I was into all the characters. But low key, June and Dunk, Fidel style, yeah, they did it for me. They did it for me. Style in particular. And I really liked the dynamic between Fadel and Style. I really liked what they had going on. In their chemistry, she was a solid 10 out of 10. And I liked their acting. Like, Style was very over the top. And I loved that. And like, Fadel was like the complete opposite. And I think that Juke and Doug did a really good job of bringing their characters to life. And First and Cowtongue ate down too. First did his job, okay? Because when I tell you, I could not stand Kant for the majority of the series. I feel like 89% of the series, I wanted to thump Kant in his forehead because he was just pissing me off. Like, First did his big one. He played that role because I could not stand Kant. And do I feel like his redemption arc was a little too fast? Absolutely. And Cal Tong, yes, you ate down playing the cute, silent, but deadly psycho. Because a bison? Bison? Oh. I feel like we all thought that Fidel was gonna be like the really like aggressive, stone cold killer. No. Bison? Oh, that man was crazy. And I was here for every second of it. And but like low key, Bison was making me mad sometimes too because I'm like, sir, I get it, okay, love is blind, but let's wake up. Let's open our eyes because I know that you know that it is not a coincidence that both of these men, who just so happen to be best friends, came into y'all's lives at the exact same time. Now I get it, Bison. Cut is fine. But babes, I'm gonna need you to stand up for me because the math was definitely giving you're being played, babes. I needed you to put two and two together. Now, Bison, I do understand why you were so down bad because Cunt was putting in that work. And let us not forget that butt grab in what was that, the second episode? Jaw was on the floor for like 10 minutes because I was like, excuse me? Excuse me? Even even before we got to the second episode, go to the first episode. Cause let me not just blame it on Bison because Bison had caught in a tizzy too after episode one, but I feel like caught he had the upper hand for a hot little minute, and Bison had me scared because I was like, girl, please, I need you to open your eyes and see that he is playing you. He's playing you. And speaking of them being played, I feel like they found out about Style and Kant being spies far too late. I feel because we didn't find out. Well, I mean, obviously we knew, the audience, but Kant, Kant, Bison and Fidel didn't find out that Style and Kant were playing them until the end of episode 6, going into episode 7. I feel like they should have found out sooner, and Fidel and Bison should have played with Kant and Style like for at least like two whole episodes or something. Like we had to watch Fidel and Bison get played for 6 whole episodes before they even found out what was going on. I just feel like it would have been like a little bit interesting to see Bison and Fidel really like be undercover in their undercover bag. I just think it would have been interesting and it would have added, I guess, another layer to the story if we really would have gotten to see Fidel and Bison really like play Kant and Style the same way that they were being played, and for Style and Kant to not be privy to them also being played by Bison and Fidel. I think that would have been interesting to see how it could have played out had that element been added to the story. I think it just would have made it a bit more interesting if the tables were turned and Bison and Fidel got to put on their little act and Style and Kant fell for it, and then Bison and Fidel like carried out their plan, or the story just could have like flowed the same. But I feel like is that where they kind of started losing me a little bit? Yeah, because it took Fidel and Bison a little too long for me for them to figure out that they were being played. And then when they put on their little act for what was it, like not even a whole episode, like Kant and Style figured that out way too damn fast. So yeah, it just would have been more interesting to see if that would have gotten to play out better and more so in Fidel and Bison's favor. Like it was blowing my mind that it was taking them that long to figure that out. And like, yes, Fidel was suspicious. Yes, Bison was blinded by love. But guys, you're supposed to be like top of the line hitmen. How are you not seeing this? And then like episodes, I think part of episode 6 and then episode 7 and 8, I wasn't really messing with those episodes. There were moments in each of those episodes where I was like, okay, that was cute. But as far as the overall story went, I wasn't really feeling those episodes. But they got me back in episode 9 though. That episode ain't down. In the episodes that followed, Chef's Kiss, 10 out of 10. I obviously, we wanted to see a beautiful, nice, happy ending with everybody falling in love and living happily ever after, of course. And I also thoroughly enjoyed seeing them all work together. that might have been like my favorite parts of the series as a whole. Was it, aside from like watching Fidel and Style, like actually their whole story, Fidel and Style, it was a 10 out of 10. Like chef's kiss, perfection. And then when we got to them all like working together, I thoroughly enjoyed that. And I was so glad when they took care of Mother, because that lady was not going to leave them alone until she was 6 feet under. Now I know her demise was implied, but I'm gonna take it as ma'am is done for, never to be seen or heard of again. Because what do you mean you killed their parents and then adopted them to be assassins? Ma'am, what the hell is wrong with you? And then the nerve, because they just want to leave and live normal, happy lives. So you kidnap their boyfriends, family members, and you were going to kill them and think that they were just going to fall back in line. Ma'am, your demise, yeah, definitely deserved. And I was glad that they did that. What was funny is I feel like Babe, the little brother, had his suspicions that Bison, that something extra was up with Bison, because I mean Bison did pull a gun out on him, like it was an accident, but still, but like Styles' dad was completely oblivious to everything they had going on, and just to be like kidnapped, and then they watched them killed him two bodyguards, and then basically, and well, not basically, they did kill Mother, and we just, did they like have like a conversation, like that whole scene, like after, it was just like Babe and Styles' dad was just like, they were just like, are you okay? Yeah, are you okay? Yeah. Okay, great. Like let's go live happily ever after together now. Oh, I'm sorry, but if I found out that my son's boyfriend was an assassin, and then I just watched him kill 3 people, I feel like I would have a few questions. Obviously, very grateful that you just saved my life, but I do have some questions, and I feel like a conversation should be had. And we just sped past that. I guess we can imply that a conversation was had, and everyone was just happy to be alive. Now, as far as the ending and them having to go to prison, while I did enjoy the story, I personally would have loved to see them on the run. Even if it was just for like one episode, and then they like surrendered and went to prison, and like the rest of the story still played out the way that it played out, I feel like seeing them on the run, she could have ate. Like whether it was just only Fidel and Bison, that would have been fine. The 4 of them on the run would have been absolutely hilarious. But just I feel like, I don't know, something that I just wanted to see personally. Let me know if y'all thought that would have ate down too. And us seeing how they maintained their relationships while they were in the big house for 5 very long years. Like, Kant and Bison had me cracking up because they were like living their best lives. They were living like their ultimate little prison fantasies, and they were just enjoying their time. And Vanel, low key, he was pissing me off because stop pushing this man away. He kept trying to push Style away, and I get it. I get why. But I was like, Vanel, he loves you, Vanel. He wants to be with you. He's trying to buy your burger restaurant so when you get out, you have your restaurant and you can live the life you've always wanted. Vanel, don't do Style like that. Don't do him like that. Like, I found myself saying that to my screen every single time, and I was like, bro, Vanel, if you push him away one more time, I'm booking a flight so I can push you down, because he's trying so hard. No, because them becoming teachers in the freaking prison, When I saw that, when I tell you I had to pause and I was cackling for like 10 minutes because I was like, wow, now that is love. That is love. What do you mean y'all become prison teachers so you can see your boyfriend? And of course, after 5 very long and very entertaining years, they get out of prison and they finally get to live their normal, happily ever afters. And I love that for them. Like, Bison got to go to Iceland and see the northern lights with his man. Vadel got his restaurant. And they just get to be cute and live happily. You know, I wouldn't be mad if GMM wanted to hit us with a special episode of them just being cute, cuddly, and happy. Like, I would not be mad at that. Like, I would eat that up, actually. Because all in all, the heart killer, she did eat. She did eat. I feel like she did what she was supposed to do. I did think that it was going to be a little bit more of an action drama. And it was more so like an action, like, dramedy type vibe. Like, it was more rom-com drama with a sprinkle of action. But I was still here for it. Like, it wasn't what I expected. But she still ate. She still ate. They lost me for like 3.5 little episodes, but I never got off the ride though. Like, I was still tuned in every week, sat in front of my screen to see what was gonna happen next. And they swiftly picked me back up and I was right back on board. Overall, I feel like I've said this like 75 times. The show ate. She did her job. And I'm glad to be seeing like more mature and I guess more serious storylines coming out of the BL space, and especially from bigger companies. And these budgets are budgeting. I was like, ooh, okay. They put some money into this series, and I like that. I like seeing that. And I like that it's giving the actors more opportunities to become better actors by having like more wide ranges of characters to play and having like different and more diverse storylines, more complicated characters. Because I feel like with this series, all of the characters were in like this gray area of they're not good or bad. It's just they were put in certain situations and they have certain circumstances and they have to make certain choices. And so, while Kant did get on my damn nerves, I can still understand why he was shaking and moving the way that he was sometimes. And same with like all of the other characters. Like, I like when a series doesn't have these black and white good or bad characters. I think that's also why I really enjoyed Only Friends, because it was the same. There was no like black and white, good or bad, green versus red flag. They all had issues. They were all very gray. Flags given very much orange and yellow for everybody across the board. And I hope that GMM and other companies, but since we're talking about GMM right now, let's keep it at GMM. I hope that they continue to make series like this because I'm enjoying it. And I feel like it's giving their actors more opportunities to branch out and get better at their craft and show their range. And I feel like it gives more space for more interesting and possibly more complicated storylines, as well as more interesting and more complex characters. But yeah, overall, I would give The Heart Killers a solid 8.5 out of 10. I would give the acting is a solid 9 out of 10. I would give the story, she was a solid like 7.5 out of 10. There were a few things where I was like, go what? The chemistry, tens across the board, which I knew that Burst and Telltale were gonna have great chemistry. And seeing Joong and Dunk in this series makes me want to check out some other series that they've done. But yeah, let me know what other series I should talk about next. Thanks so much for listening to me yap and watching me do my makeup. I hope that you enjoyed the video. This is the finished look, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.